evening, ghosts and ghouls. You're listening to a horrible podcast.
What's up, ghosts and ghouls? It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And today we're going to be going over our top 10 franchise kills.
Yes, indeed. We have come up with 10 franchises in the horror genre, and we're going to go through each one of them and tell you our favorite kill and which movie in that particular franchise. And like I said, our favorite ones from it. Now, some of our favorite kills, it might not be our favorite movie in the franchise. It just might just be our favorite kill in the whole franchise. So, and this is not a countdown of the best kill. This is basically we choose a franchise and we pick one kill from it. So, you know, this isn't necessarily a countdown, but we do have movies, you know, labeled 1 through 10 just so we wouldn't get confused.
Yes, exactly. So, kicking off at number 10.
Yes, number 10, we have picked the Evil Dead series.
Yes.
And this movie has, let's see here, we got the 3 original with Ash, we got the remake, and then we got the brand new Evil Dead Rise that just came out.
And you have the TV show also, but this is just basing off the movies.
Yeah, we're not going with the TV shows.
Which sucks, because one of my favorite kills is in the TV show.
Well, I figured that we could probably do a whole episode on TV shows that are either share the same name as a movie, right, or based off of the movie, because as you know, you have Evil Dead, which is based off of the Evil Dead, and then you have Friday the 13th that is just in name alone. So, right. But anyway, kicking off the Evil Dead on my list, Evil Dead 2, 1987, and my pick is Linda. And this is funny because Linda gets killed a few times. Like, she gets killed in the first one, she gets killed in the second one, she keeps fucking coming back, right?
Right.
But my absolute favorite kill is Ash finally gets the chainsaw in the second one and splits her head down the middle. And finally, like, gets rid of Linda. And, you know, you see it split, and you see his face, and the blood squirting on him, and he, you know, it's like a fucking bajillion gallons of fucking blood hitting him in the face. That's right. That's my favorite kill.
I was actually torn between that kill and ultimately the one I picked from the remake. Towards the not towards, but the very end of the movie, Maya. When she chainsaws the, what is it, the Deadite in the face, like the demon,
mm-hmm.
You know, she's like coming to get her, and I'll swallow your soul. She fucking, and fucking blood everywhere. I just felt like that was more realistic and more brutal. The Abomination, that's what it was called. The Abomination. And it was just so good. But I mean, there's so many other great kills in the movie, like the remake, the fucking original. I mean, yeah, you go on and on.
Evil Dead, it's all about gore, and it's all about, you know, the wet stuff.
I mean, even in the new one, putting the last like Deadite mutated thing that fucking goes in a wood chipper.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. Fucking ripping the guy's eyeball out and choking the other guy with the eyeball that she spit out.
Yeah, there's a lot of good kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of great kills.
Well, kicking off at number
9.
9, we chose The Child's Play because we love Chucky, and, you know, he's got a lot of great death scenes in there.
This was hard.
My personal favorite comes from Child's Play 2 from 1990. And mine comes at the end of the film. This is after, like, Chucky and Andy run into the toy factory, and Kyle follows them in. And, you know, it goes on for a little bit, and Chucky gets his, like, hand ripped off, and he takes a knife and kind of tapes it to his hand.
It actually sticks it in his hand.
Yeah. Well, he sticks it in his hand, and he tapes it up so it'll stay, and the bleeding would possibly stop. But anyway, there's like one factory worker left in the building. And, you know, he turns around, and he comes down because all the prototype dolls are piling up on the machine, and he tries to, like, you know, clear the pathway,
Yeah,
and
clear it out.
Then he turns around, and Chucky kind of, like, hits him with the knife across the face, and he jumps back on the machine.
Falls back into the machine.
He falls back on the machine, and the machine that he actually falls back into is the machine that puts the eyeballs into the dolls. And it hits him right in the eye. And, you know, that's probably my favorite kill. I've always loved that scene. So,
funny enough, that's exactly what I had at my number 9, was that kill. I love that kill. It creeped me out as a kid, but now I get a good chuckle out of it in my older age. I almost picked the bid scene from Bride of Chucky where he throws the champagne bottle and it cuts him into pieces. And I almost picked the scene where, what's his name, pops out of the van. Police chief.
oh yeah,
I'm trying to brain.
fuck. I don't know. He passed away.
Yeah.
His son plays in Freddy vs. Jason. John Ritter.
John Ritter, yeah. He pops up because they thought they already killed him with a nail gun. You know, and then fucking stab him to death. But, yeah, that was my number 9. It's a great scene, and it still holds up very well.
Yep.
Number 8.
Yeah, the next film franchise is Candyman. I picked the original Candyman from 92,
Cool.
Dr. Burke, and that's when he has, you know, what's her name? Fuck, I can't remember. Helen. Helen has already been, like, arrested and accused of murder, and she goes to talk to this doctor, and she finally, like, looks into the mirror, says his name, and before you know it, Candyman comes from behind and, like, guts him and shit like that, and she runs out, and he fucking flies through the window.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a classic Candyman scene, so that's probably my favorite in that whole franchise.
Yeah, I really liked that one, but I went with part 2, Farewell to Flesh. Matt Clark's character, was it Truebanks or something like that? Anyway, when he opens up his, like, robe and everything, and you see the bees falling out his chest, and then he pours the bees into his mouth and, like, just consumes him with bees and kills him. To me, that whole, like, situation with the bees, you can kind of feel it because everybody's been stung by a bee. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a very, like, it's a kill you can feel, if that makes sense. You know, like, if you see somebody get, like, a paper cut on a screen, you're going to flinch because you know what a paper cut feels like.
Right.
So this guy is being stung, like, in the mouth and on the inside and everything like that to death.
You have been stung on the inside.
think I'm gonna sting you, but I'm not. If I sting you, then I'm gonna die. Number 7.
All right, here's a franchise we always talk about not getting enough love. Well, it's going to get some love today. This is the Pumpkinhead series.
Pumpkinhead.
And
Harley.
I picked Pumpkinhead 2, and my favorite kill in that is Danny. Danny is the basically the main young guy in this, and towards the end of the movie, all the kids are running from Pumpkinhead, and he gets out a gun and starts shooting Pumpkinhead, but Pumpkinhead hits the gun out of his hand and grabs him.
And you think he's going to shoot him.
And
or at least I did.
Well, he
impales him.
No. You shut up, I tell you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Let me tell the goddamn story, woman. No, he grabs him, and he picks him up, and he starts screaming like a bitch. He literally has the most high-pitched male scream I've ever seen or heard in a fucking horror movie.
You're a bitch.
And fucking Pumpkinhead, like, starts rocking his fucking head until eventually just...
What scene am I thinking of where he impales the guy with the gun?
That's from the first Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
That's the guy with the leather jacket.
That's right.
The brother.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he hits him, he impales him, but yeah, this is Pumpkinhead 2. This is Danny, who is the judge's son, who is kind of like the local little badass, and it's just great because the whole movie he's like this badass, don't fuck with me, you know, my daddy is the judge.
Daddy.
I can do whatever I want to, and then when Pumpkinhead gets a hold of him, he screams like a bitch, and he like just rocks his head back and forth till it eventually just pops off, and he throws it. It's great.
Pops right off. I went with Pumpkinhead 1. So I went with the end of the movie. When Lance Hickerson, the great American actor that he is, that played Ed Harley, shoots himself in the head to stop Pumpkinhead. I thought that death scene was very shocking the first time I saw it, and has always stuck with me.
Well, if you remember correctly, he shoots himself, but he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah, well,
and then he stumbles out, and the girl had to finish the job. But it does stick with you because he's fucking stumbling out with a fucking gunshot wound to his head,
right?
Which is a real thing. That's a real fucking thing. There's people
you can shoot yourself in the head and not kill yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Just like, you know, there's like real stories of people that I think there was this story, I can't remember where it was, but this guy shot himself 7 fucking times before he died. He just kept missing his heart. He literally put the gun in his, you know, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
He would pass the fuck out and then wake up and stumble off somewhere else and then try it again. And 7 fucking wounds.
Well, it's like the guy that shot himself in the face with a shotgun and lived, and it wasn't nothing but a mangled mess. He looked like fucking, if you take potted meat and you stir it in a can.
Yeah, which probably inspired the fucking Britney Spears South Park episode.
She's such an inspiration to us all.
She sounds like shit. She's got no head. Yeah, she's stupid.
Number 6.
All right, coming in at number 6, the Scream franchise.
Scream.
I went with Scream 4 from 2011, and I went with Jill. Jill ended up being one of the killers in 2011, and I love her death scene. It's when she gets shocked in the head with the little I don't know what you call them.
Fibrillator pebble.
Fibrillators.
The pebbles, baby, the pebbles.
Yeah, she gets shocked in the head with the thing, and then of course she pops back up, and then she, they finish her off by shooting the shit out of her. But yeah, clear.
I went with Scream 5. And unfortunately, it's when Dewey met his demise. He got stabbed very, very brutally and gutted. I thought it was kind of ironic how through all the movies he got, stabbed and everything but blown up, and then in this one he fucking gets he gets gutted, I guess, finally, but he gets the shit stabbed out of him. But this one, I went with the death of Stewie because it meant something,
Yeah. I mean, people certainly, it generated an emotion because this character had been with us through 5 movies.
Yeah.
So, it was like one of those things where they're never going to kill off a main character, and then like he's the first one, and he's like the favorite.
Right. He was my favorite character.
And I think that it was probably his choice, and he's probably like, I kind of don't want to do these anymore. I've kind of had my fill of it. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm sure that if David Arquette really didn't want to do it, it wouldn't have happened. But I think he realized that, his death scene in it would certainly, the true fans of the franchise would have like had a genuine, like, emotional reaction. So,
and I did, and it still means the most to me. But number 5, Hellraiser franchise.
Yeah, we went with Hellraiser, and sorry, not sorry. I went with the original Hellraiser.
I did too.
At the end of the movie.
There we go. Same here.
If you've never seen the movie, Larry gets killed by Frank and Larry's wife. Like, Larry's wife is in love with Frank, but Frank is like this skinless creature that lives in the attic. And they finally killed Larry. Oh, and he's his brother, by the way, too. So it's even more fucked up. Anyway, they kill Larry, and now Frank looks exactly like Larry. He's wearing his skin, and they're trying to basically kill the daughter. And that's when the Cenobites come, and they have to collect the debt that Frank has made with them, because he's supposed to be dead, and the only reason why he's alive and skinless is because he made a deal with them to come back to life. But at the end of the movie, he's got to pay the price again. And all these chains come out of nowhere and grab him, and he's all fucking torn and fucking stretched and all that. And then he delivers that, great line of Jesus wept. And then as she's running out the door, you see him in the background and goes, and he just blows all to hell. Yeah. And I think anybody who has seen the original Hellraiser will tell you that you cannot remember anything about that movie, but you'll remember that scene. So that's my favorite scene. Apparently that's your favorite scene as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's just one of those scenes that stick with you, like, especially the fucking hooks in the face. And
yeah.
Oh, God. The special effects in that movie, second to none. I mean, it is definitely up there.
great. Number 4.
Number 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street, you fucking degenerate.
I went with 1988's Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
Interesting.
And I went with Debbie. And let me set this up. Debbie is in like her garage or some shit. I don't know. She's like pumping weights.
Yeah.
And Freddy grabs the weight, pushes it down on her, and breaks her arm.
Yes.
And then she turns into a bug.
Yes.
There's a significant reason why she turns into a bug. Earlier in the film, she had like a bug on her chip or something, and she threw it down, and she was stomping the shit out of it, and it was obvious that she was like
Afraid of bugs.
She was afraid or hated bugs. So Freddy turns her into a fucking bug, and, you know, she starts running, and now she's trapped because she can't go anywhere because her feet are getting stuck. Well, those of you that grew up semi-poor might remember the Roach Motels. The Roach Motels were these little boxes that had this sticky shit in it, and you put it almost like if you put like a little mouse trap in the corner, you would do that. And these little roaches or bugs or whatever you had would go, and they couldn't go any further. They would get stuck.
Yes.
And that was kind of a way to get these bugs and roaches and shit out of your house.
Yeah.
And that's what she ends up getting stuck on, and Freddy squeezes it and fucking squashes her.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like that one.
Mine's pretty simple. I'm not gonna deep dive into the kill. Mine is actually from A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much one of the most famous lines when he kills Penelope. Grabs, he comes out of TV, grabs her, says the infamous line, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and shoves her head right in a tube. I don't know, that's one that always stuck with me. It was either between that and, believe it or not, I was actually thinking about the Roach one, because when she lost her arms, it freaked me out.
Yeah. One thing about Nightmare 3, about that scene, it's an iconic scene, but they like run into the TV room and they see her like head first hanging.
Yeah.
That's always a freaky scene. But the thing that always like confused me is they were like, well, she committed suicide. How the fuck do you commit suicide like that?
She jumped up there.
I don't know you fuckers might only know about flat screen TVs and how they're easy to fucking break, but back in the day, you can't break a fucking television screen unless you had a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Let alone your fucking noggin.
Yeah.
So, I guess it was more, I guess it was kind of one of those things where it's like, they actually believe it was suicide? Like, what's wrong with these fucking people?
Right.
Like, I think it was just to further the story about how the grown-ups didn't believe the kids.
Right.
So,
it's like no matter what they did,
yeah,
they still don't, they wouldn't believe them.
Yeah, even if it's right there in your face. But, yeah, her just hanging there has always been a fucking creepy scene. And fucking Terminator Freddy.
Yeah, Terminator Freddy.
coming out of the fucking tube.
Yeah.
The tube box.
Yeah, with his little antennas and shit dangling.
It's your big break, honey.
Where are we at?
We're at number 3.
Number 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Massacre with the Saws.
This was a little tough for me because even some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies that don't get as much love, I still like. But
yeah,
I went with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, and I went with the final scene. and that's Chrissy. When you think that she's
survived,
Leatherface pops up from behind, and the chainsaw goes through the seat into her, and they don't fucking cut away, and like she stays there for a minute, and when you think it's going to cut away, it just stays there, and it gets fucking like so uncomfortable seeing her scream and then finally just fucking shake just from the chainsaw. It's kind of fucking freaky now that you think about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was called the beginning for a reason. You know, nobody got out alive. And, you know, the other one that I was thinking of, it might be yours, so I'll save it.
Is it the original?
No.
Okay. Well, I went with the original.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and say the other one that I thought, and that was when he hangs the guy up in
that's
the remake.
The one I almost picked.
And he goes between his legs up. That's a horrible way to go, so.
Yes, that almost made my list. It was 3 kills. Is the one you picked. The saw between the legs, gutted like a fish. But I went with an OG kill because it's the kill that always bothered me and you. Maybe not so much the kill, but the sound of the kill.
Yeah.
And that would be from the original
Kirk.
With Kirk getting his head whacked in the head with a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
That scene will haunt you.
Yeah, the whole...
Yeah, that fucking smushing. I don't know who made the fucking sound effects for that movie or how they made that noise, but it sounds so fucking real. And just, oh God, it turns my stomach thinking about it.
Yeah, especially when he gets hit and he's still fucking like, twitching and shit like it. Yeah,
and shaking, and then like he pulls him, and then you have the iconic door slam scene.
Yeah, it's funny because like you really don't get too many chainsaw kills in the Chainsaw until the later films come out. It's mostly, you know, you might get like if you got like
hook.
Yeah, if you get let's just say you have like 5 or 6 kills, maybe one of them would be like a chainsaw. The other one, you know, it is like other shit like a hook, a meat pounder,
meat cleaver.
I call it a
meat pounder. I like to pound that meat, boy.
Your meat wallet.
A meat wallet.
But yeah,
Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin was the first one to get it.
Yeah.
You see Kirk, like, after he gets hit and he hangs, what's her name? Fuck, I forgot her name. But anyway, he hangs her on the hook and he's just laying on the table. That's when he gets the chainsaw and starts cutting the motherfucker up.
Right.
But the first one, and probably the only one that you see get killed in the first one is Franklin.
Yes,
and
Franklin.
That's, you know, that's effective. And
the final girl was about to get it, but she got away.
Yeah. Like, fuck, what was her name? Why am I drawing a blank? It's like one of my favorite films, and now I can't fucking remember their names. I know it's Franklin, it's Kirk, it's Sally. Yeah, that's her name, Sally. And
you know how I just remembered it?
Because we say that stupid shit.
Franklin, Sally, wait a minute. Sally, where you go? Wait a minute, Sally. I can't go, Sally.
We gonna honk the horn and wait a minute, and if they don't come, we'll go, okay? I can't push your fat ass down that hill. But yeah.
But there's a lot of, even in the new Texas Chainsaw.
Oh God, the last scene when he finally cuts I didn't almost put that, but I was thinking about that because to me, out of every single kill, even the asshole in Texas Chainsaw 3D who slides down after he cuts his fucking feet off and he slides down into the meat grinder thing.
Yeah.
Even though he was an asshole, there was no fucking better satisfying death than at the end of the new one that was just on at Netflix when he cut her fucking head off because she was a fucking cunt throughout that entire goddamn movie. And when she finally got it, it was like, I wish it would have went to theaters because I would have fucking cheered.
Yeah, I loved it. That was actually in the running for me because of how satisfying it is. It totally did the opposite. For me, you know, you're supposed to hate the killer, but for me, I was like, yeah, get that bitch, Bubba. Dog will hunt. Dog will hunt.
Yeah, we like this series.
No, we don't. Number 2, Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th, and with 12 fucking movies, I mean, it leaves no shortage of death scenes.
This was the hardest.
Yeah, it was the hardest because there are several ones that I could have put.
I think out of all the franchises, slashers, and everything, Jason probably has the most creative and iconic kills. Honestly.
Yeah, I would say that out of Texas, Nightmare, Halloween, and Friday, which I consider the Mount Rushmore of slasher films, Friday the 13th is, first of all, it's the most goriest. If you put them all together, it's the most goriest franchise. It's the most, it's the most slasher-esque. Like, if you like follow slasher rules from A to Z, Friday the 13th is like has it down packed better than any of the other series.
Right.
Because Halloween, you throw a little bit of mystery and a little bit of, you know, suspense in there, and Texas, you throw a little bit of exportation stuff in there, and Nightmare, you throw a little bit of fantasy and, you know, dream stuff. But as far as A to Z slasher, hockey, you know, killer's got a mask, uses sharp objects, gory as fuck, in the woods.
Kills pretty much for no reason.
Yeah. So I think Friday pretty much, you know, sets the rules when it comes to a slasher film.
Right.
But I went with Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And not only because it's my favorite in the series, but I truly believe this is my favorite kill in the entire series, and that is Axel, the coroner. In the beginning of the movie, they pick up where 3 left off, and Jason has an axe to the head. They think he's dead. They take him to the local hospital. They put him in the ice box. You can see he you know, they go to shut the door. It doesn't close all the way. You can see, like, the hotness from his breath from breathing. Yeah, he's like steam because he's still breathing. Anyway, Axel was sitting there watching fucking aerobics. You know, back then, guys, we couldn't just get on our phones and watch titty porn. So, you know, if you didn't have a Playboy, you fucking jerked off to aerobic exercises. And he wasn't jerking off, but he was having a good time watching it. And Jason gets a fucking bone saw and slits his neck, and then not only does he slit his neck, he fucking turns it all the way around to where, you know, his head is now perfectly aligned with his back. And, you know, that is my favorite kill ever. I mean, it's quick, to the point, brutal, fucking, it's one of those, holy shit, type of things. It's, they don't pander on it too long. And, you know, it's like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
That was one of them I considered because of the fucking saw alone. Mine, I'm going with the remake, the 2009 reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty quick, subtle kill, but it showed, like, what kind of Jason you were going to get. and you probably already know what I'm going to go with, is when he runs up to the guy and fucking puts a machete right fucking down his head and splits. It sticks. Then he puts his foot on his fucking face and pushes him off.
Yeah, that was in the opening of the film as well. I mean, the remake was great because it kind of tricked you because you thought the movie was about to take off, and this was just a group of kids that Jason's killed until the real kids get there.
Right.
And, they all fucking, one of them gets burned in a sleeping bag. The other one
I
gets...
almost put that scene, too, because that was pretty brutal. It was like a tribute to the original sleeping bag scene, which we'll talk about in a minute.
The other one gets, dragged down to hell.
Yeah.
In the house. And then, like you said, the guy, looking for, you got the guy that got the machete, then you got the guy that was searching for the weed.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I think you saw Jason come after him, but you didn't see it. You knew what happened. It was kind of like an off-screen death, but you knew it was eventually going to happen. And then the other girl, you think that she's about to get it, but ends up that she's the one that Jason is kind of holding hostage, and that's where the rest of the movie kind of picks off. So,
right.
Wonderful remake, by the way. There's some people that may not like it. I like it.
Ass.
I like it. I mean, I could have done a little less, Rambo survival Jason, but
I dug it.
I mean, it's okay. It was just
the more I watch the movie, the more I love it, honestly.
It's just, springing up traps and all that shit.
I think it's smart. I mean, because
but Jason's not supposed to be smart.
Yeah, well.
He's a fucking mongoloid.
Yeah, well, this is the reboot and their take on it. That's what I liked about it, because they made it different.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying,
I know, but, I mean, to the dipshits out there that's going to debate it, they would say exactly what you said. Well, he's a mongoloid. He don't know how to wipe his ass when he poops backwards. Well, fuck you, okay? When somebody gives you something different, and it's not the different you want, or you bitch about it because it's too different, eat shit. I mean, you got something different, and I thought it was a fucking great remake. Unfortunately, it didn't make that much because people suck.
No, it made some money. It just went into legal problems. That's why we haven't gotten a sequel.
Well, from what I was reading online, they said that it didn't make that much.
They're bullshitting.
Yeah, well,
they're bullshitting.
Yeah, because it wasn't too much longer. You had the legal troubles.
Well, the thing that, in the mid to late 2000s, that's when all these reboots started to come about. Chainsaw and Halloween, and they made a bazillion money. I don't think Friday made as much as them, but it was profitable. But then, if you really notice, after Nightmare on Elm Street remake came out, we didn't have a lot of remakes to come out after that, because that was kind of the first one where people just watched and went, God damn, this is awful. Yeah. So they kind of took a break from all the popular remakes for a while. And then, about 2 or 3 years later, that's when Evil Dead and shit like that came out. So, but I mean,
yeah, but that's also when you notice the shift going into the paranormal.
Well, yeah. I mean, every once in a while,
that genre got popular.
It wasn't necessarily paranormal. It was more like found footage paranormal.
Well, I mean, ghost shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't like traditional ghost shit. It was more like found footage.
Yeah.
That was like found footage. Like everybody was making a goddamn found footage ghost, spooky.
Oh, the vacuum's floating.
Yeah. And it's some of them are good, but it's I never understood. You can only go so far with these genres, and it's it becomes repetitive over and over. And some people say, well, you love Friday the 13th, and there's 12 of those motherfuckers that are exactly the same. I guess you can argue that. I just find Jason more interesting than fucking Thin Air.
I'm a slasher guy. Sorry. I don't get me wrong. There's some good paranormal movies out there.
Yeah, but it's usually the first one in a franchise.
Yeah, like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, like 2 at the most. I think my favorite might be 2. But after that, it's like, what video are they going to find and play for us now? You know,
Right.
that type of shit. And then, like, you get movies that I think are a little bit more original, and they get shit on, like movies like Sinister.
Yeah. It's now starting to get a cult following.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, but what a great movie. Like,
Yeah.
2 good movies. Like, both of them are damn good. But I
Yeah,
want
I
to
like
do a couple more honorable mention kills in Friday the 13th. I just figure,
Oh, yeah.
I almost put Jason X, the freezer scene where he grabs him by the back of the head and puts him in the fucking, what do you call that? Liquid nitrogen, and then pulls him up and then goes, bashes his head.
It was a her.
Her, you know what I mean. Whatever, it's 2023. Them.
Bashes their heads.
Bashes they face. You know how ridiculous? It bashes they face.
What is this, 1860? They shall suck thy dick.
You're stupid. Of course, we can't forget the infamous sleeping bag scene.
Oh, yeah, from Friday 7, which is Kane Hodder's favorite death scene.
Yeah.
And, of course, we can't forget the rooftop Julius Jason Takes Manhattan scene where it was, Jason versus fucking Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali lost.
Yeah, got his block knocked off. Literally.
Yeah, that was a great one.
We brought that in particular kill up for our buddy Brandon. So shout out to you, Brandon.
Also, I want to give a shout out to part 2, where the infamous, they're lying in bed and they get to spear through both of them and shish kebab, which was inspired by, A Bay of Blood, Twitch of the Deaf Nerve, an old Italian horror film that came out in like 71, 72.
Yeah.
And was borrowed for Friday Part 2. But both scenes are awesome. They stole it. Fuck that. They're both good. So
yeah, Kevin Bacon getting the arrow through the throat.
Yeah,
always bothered me. Because of how realistic it looked.
Yeah, that and the fucking Marcy getting the axe to the face was pretty brutal. And we can't forget about probably the most. I would say the most awesome death scene in the first film is probably when Mrs. Voorhees gets her fucking head chopped off. Yeah. So, you can point to any, like, even if you don't like some films, you can still watch them for great fucking death scenes. Like every single Friday movie, even the bad ones, like, Jason Goes to Hell. You can find at least 1 or 2 death scenes where you just be like, oh, yeah, that was fucking good.
Yeah, just like Jason X was preached for years.
Yeah. Like,
terrible movie. Great death scenes.
Same thing with Jason Goes to Hell. Like, that, as a movie, it's just great concept, not for a Jason film. However, that's probably the most goriest Jason film.
Yeah, it really is.
And
my last one that has stuck with me the most is Friday the 13th Part 2, when she gets the screwdriver in the fucking ear. Or is that Part 3?
Are you talking about Alice?
Yes, Part 3.
Yeah. At the beginning, Alice, she's in the kitchen and he comes from behind. It was.
It's a very simple kill.
Well, it's always debated on what it was. Was it a screwdriver or was it an ice pick? What?
I don't know. Ice pick, screwdriver, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That shit bothered me because, like I said, it's like one of those things you can feel. Like you ever stick a fucking Q-tip too far in your ear and it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And then you see that scene and you're like, ha 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 ha. No. Ow.
Yeah.
Owie.
Yeah, that reminds me of the nightmare scene from Freddy's Dead where the guy has the hearing aid and he puts the fucking Q-tip and it goes all the way through him and you know. But yeah.
Anyway, number one,
we have chosen Halloween to be our last franchise to pick our favorite horror death scene in. And I went traditional on this. I went with Halloween 78, and
Me too.
I went with Bob.
Same.
I went with Bob, man. When he opens...
That was clapping. It sounded like rain, though.
Yeah, when he opens that closet door and Michael comes out and grabs him by the throat and picks him up and then stabs him and he just hangs there and Michael...
The head tilt.
Yeah, Michael tilts his head and looks at his artwork like he's a fucking painter.
Picasso, baby.
Yeah, and that's a great scene. And, another scene that I really like that was, I almost put, was very similar to that scene. That was from part 2 when he comes from behind the nurse.
Yes.
And he fucking gets her with the scalpel and he picks her up in midair and her fucking shoes fall off.
Yes. I almost picked that scene too.
Yeah. So that's definitely my number one honorable mention. But we can't talk about them without talking about the brutal fucking scenes from the Rob Zombie films, man.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, was it Bear Grizzly? What's the character's name?
Oh, Joe Grizzly.
Joe Grizzly.
Yeah, he gets fucking...
That scene is intense.
Yeah, they're doing the fighting and they fucking, almost, they break down the fucking stall and he ends up getting stabbed with his own knife and... Yeah, all of that's, all of that good shit.
So violent.
Yeah, stomping on the face of the guy taking out the trash.
Yeah.
The guy that went on to play Herman Monster, by the way.
Yeah.
The handbrake. What was that guy's name? I can't remember his name, but he he owns the titty club and he's kind of dressed like Frankenstein and he you don't really see it. You see him get thrown around, but he kind of stumbles out of the room and he comes out of the room and his fucking hand is broken. The bone is sticking out and shit. And, it's a lot of good shit from the zombie ones. And, quite frankly.
Then how dirty he done Danny Trejo's character.
Oh, yeah, with the TV and everything, which was kind of a homage to Wes Craven's Scream Stew death scene.
Yeah.
But Halloween 6, when the asshole dad gets electrocuted, that was as satisfying as the chainsaw, the new chainsaw one, because he was a fucking
he was a
fucking cunt prick.
Halloween 3, don't give a fuck what y'all say, still a great installment. It just isn't a great Halloween movie.
Yeah.
As far as a Halloween movie goes, it shouldn't be called Halloween. It should just be called Season of the Witch. We all know that. There's no debate in that. But the fucking scene when they fucking play the Silver Shamrock commercial and they have the mask on and you see the fucking children die.
Yeah, the kid that his head gets turned into snakes and
fucking rots,
centipedes and
worms and shit.
Just every type of little slimy fucking reptile you can think of.
Yeah.
It's definitely the grossest, like, Halloween film, in my opinion. Like, Down and Dirty, just gross shit.
Yeah.
And so,
Getting your face blasted off.
yeah.
I want to give some love to the newer ones. We got some pretty good kills in the newer movies.
Yeah. I mean, Halloween Kills was called Halloween Kills for a reason.
Yeah.
And, look, you can love the storyline from the new Halloween movies.
You can hate the storyline from the new Halloween movies.
And quite frankly, I dig the first one, absolutely fucking hate the last one. And the third one is kind of, what?
You said you love the first one,
Mm-hmm.
hate the third one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said liked the third one.
Oh, no. What I meant to say is I like the second one. Like, you got me off thought.
You fucked up. I'm just trying to make you point.
No, I said I like the first one. I absolutely fucking hate the third one. But the second one was made for people like me, okay? The first one, if you want a good story, watch the first one, okay? If you are a candy-ass queer, you like the third one. If you like a good fucking horror movie and you knew that this story was going to go off track and you just want good fucking kills and just something to be satisfied with, Halloween Kills is your movie.
Yes. The kid that gets his fucking head put on the spike on the, guardrail, that's a fucking brutal scene.
Yeah. There's a lot. When he kicks the fucking
gun.
Yeah, he kicks the car door and it makes her jerk back and shoot her own self.
Yeah.
That's a great scene.
The fucking light tube scene.
The fucking flashback scenes where, he's going on and on and on and, he's scaring the fucking sheriff people, the police so bad they're fucking like shaking so much they're fucking shooting each other.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the Halloween Ends, if there was any like really good kills. Kind of drawing a blank on that one. I mean, Michael getting thrown in a meat grinder. I mean, there's that.
He was dead before he went in.
I know.
The only good thing about that movie was probably
a fucking refrigerator.
Yeah, maybe the last scene in it, but where we finally got, Halloween Ends is just bad. Okay. It's bad. It's like buying an album by somebody and it's somebody else singing and then the actual person might be featured 2 seconds at the end of a song at each one of them. That's how Halloween Ends is. It's, it's not Michael Myers' movie. It's not, it's not a Halloween film, but it's not intriguing and great like Halloween 3. It would be like if you watch Halloween 3 and everything happens the same up until the last 2 minutes of the film, and then Michael Myers shows up and gets like zoomed into space or something.
Yeah.
That's what Halloween Ends is. And I've tried to defend it, and I've tried to like it, and I've said things about it, and the more I watch it, the more fucking mad I get, because the more I realize nobody is spending any more time on this. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like giving up. I really believe that the director and the writers all just fucking gave up. And they literally took the first script that came about and they done something with it. They didn't bother doing it. I didn't mean to make this a fucking rant. I know we're talking about our favorite kills, but I'm sorry. I can't fucking say anything positive about the movie. I can't even. You know how you hate something so much you can't find anything positive in it?
Yeah.
That's how I am with Halloween Ends. Like, I have never said this before, but I will not buy that movie. Like,
I did.
I will go 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking years, and, you know, if I live that long, and I'll never fucking buy that movie. I do not consider it a part of the franchise. I think it sucks, and I think that it's more insulting than fucking Buster Rhymes doing karate.
I disagree with you.
Disagree all you want to, but that movie can suck my... You know what? It's not even deserving to suck my penis.
Okay. Well, we're not here to bash on that movie anymore.
Yeah, we are. Let me say one... No, move on.
Shut it.
Fuck that movie. Move on.
All right. Shut. Look.
You shat yourself?
You're a shat head.
Goddamn William Shatner over here.
Fuck you. You and your shat show. Anyway, Sideshow.com, top 10 deaths. Are you ready?
Just overall?
Overall.
No specific franchise, just their top 10 favorites?
Yes, their top 10.
Okay.
Now, before I read this top 10.
I mean, I'm not going to shit on anything, because anything is, you know, I'll probably be like, yeah, that's great. You know.
Well, when we picked ours, we wanted one that had more than 3 movies and considered a franchise.
Right.
That's why we picked ours. Now, if we went top 10 of all time, you'd probably see some that are going to be on some other list.
And there might be a few films that's a standalone film.
Right.
But
and
we didn't.
We didn't.
We tried to stick with a franchise more than at least 3 movies.
Yes. Now, we could probably do all together and individual at a later date, but we won't. Number 10, Kurt's death, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, it was on your list.
It was on my list. All right, number 9, Dr. Burke gets the hook, Candyman.
On my list.
Yep. Number 8, let's see Paul Allen's death, American Psycho.
Okay, that's a satisfying death too, because what's his name? What's his name, James?
What, Paul?
Yeah, what's his name?
Paul Allen?
Not the character. It's his fucking name.
Oh, you mean the actor that plays in American Psycho?
Mm-hmm.
Christian Bale.
Mm-mm.
The guy that played Paul?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name.
You fucking know his name?
Patrick Bateman.
Oh, my God.
I forgot his name.
You have not forgot his name. He's the goddamn lead singer of fucking 30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh.
Jared Leto.
Jared Stiletto.
It's Leto.
Stiletto.
It's not Stiletto.
Why is it not?
His name is a L. It's not a S in front of his name.
Stiletto.
Leto.
Stiletto.
Anyway,
his
death was a lot fucking satisfying, especially if you watch it like now, knowing how much of a pretentious cocksucker he is. So his fucking death scene is great to go back and look. Paul, what? Fuck you, you pretentious cocksucker.
Loved it. Number 7, Kate in Fear Street Part 1.
Okay, I like the Fear Street movies. That's
when her head goes through the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're on Netflix, by the way. They're a little bit newer. Shouldn't be in the top 10, by the way. Fuck you for that.
Yes. Number 6, Bob, the Kitchen Kill, Halloween.
On both of our lists.
Yes. Number 5, Shannon's jaw-dropping death, Hatchet, 2006.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't. We could have added Hatchet to this. There's like 4 or 5 movies of those.
Yeah, I didn't even think about.
We kind of kept
Hatchet.
it a little bit old school, but yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Hatchet brought back, like in their slogan, good old-fashioned American horror movie.
Yes.
Slasher.
Number 4 says Chucky's Factory Fiasco, Child's Play 2, 1990.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have to be talking about the factory worker because that's the only person that dies in it.
Right.
I mean, you could say that, he, the actual Chucky doll dies in it. I mean, he gets fucked up with
the fucking
with the
air
well,
compressor.
Yeah, it was the melted plastic, and then, which by the way always made me feel fucking ucky when I saw it.
Yeah, it's just ugh.
Yeah, it's like certain things creep me out. Like certain things I don't like. I don't like getting sunburnt on the back of my neck. I can get sunburnt on my fucking arms, legs, whatever, but if it's on the back of my neck, it bothers me. Same thing if it's raining and I get water on the back of my neck. Anything on the back of my neck, I don't like. And like when I saw him, like he's the melted plastic, and I'm like, oh, because I imagine it like on my body. I don't fucking like it.
Number 3, Glenn's Deathbed, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
Yep, the old Johnny Depp pulled down to
Explosion.
Demon Hell, I guess.
Yep. Number 2, The Garage Door, Scream.
That's pretty cool. That was Tatum's death.
Yeah.
Who is what's her name? She was Marilyn Manson's girlfriend for a while. Rose McGowan.
There you go.
Fuck, why do I ask you when I answer my own shit?
I don't know, because I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, number 1, the liquid nitrogen face smash, Jason X.
Well, you definitely mentioned that earlier, so somebody out there really enjoys that, as well as we do, so that's a good list. I like it.
Yeah. I wanted to say that maybe Terrifier, but we have to wait for Terrifier 3 before.
Yeah.
I mean, you could technically...
I have a hard time doing that, though. Like, I feel like a movie, in order for a movie, like if we talk about our top favorite movies in the last 5 years, I'll put a Terrifier or Evil Dead Rise or something like that on there. But if we're doing an all-time list, I think a movie has to be at least 5 years old for it to qualify to be on my list.
Yeah. You know what franchise we forgot?
We didn't forget. We just chose random franchises.
Right. But this was one that is all about the kills. Final Destination.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have to go back and watch a couple of them. There's only about 3 or 4 that I can really pick out. Like, some of the other ones I'd have to go, I'd have to watch it. The same goddamn thing I said the first time. I'm just trying to say it a different way, but the first time was perfect, so right. I got to go back and watch it.
Got to go back and watch it.
No elaborating. What's that word? Elaborating.
I figured it out. Anyway, I was going to read a couple more lists, but they're fucking terrible. Because, I started to read it, and it was like, number 9 was A Warrior's Death from Prey.
Yeah, again, great movie, but come on, people. Let the movie at least be 3 to 5 years old until you put it on a all-time fucking, death list, Come on now.
Is there any more deaths that you would like to mention or that maybe people could check out? I would say Predator 2, when the guy gets skinned and hung upside down.
Yeah, I love Predator 2 anyway, so I don't know. I'd have to sit down and think about it because I just love that whole movie. I would say that we didn't cover this franchise, but fucking Quinn sliding down the fucking boat in Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, that was... Every time I watch that scene and you see the shark bite down and the fucking blood squirt out of his mouth and you see him drag down, to me it's almost the same effect as seeing Kurt get hit with the fucking hammer.
Right.
Like,
you can almost feel it.
Like, yeah, and you're like, oh, God, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say that if we did an all-time favorite death scene, I mean... Spoiler alert, that one would probably be in my top maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah. The Thing had a lot of good death scenes, like the guy when he gets his fucking arms bitten off by the guy's chest.
Yeah. Yeah. Great shit. There's a lot of good ones in the Alien movies. That
always bothered me when he was all that milky fucking goo. Like when he's all fucked up and shit. I guess it's supposed to be his blood.
What are we referring to here?
Alien.
Oh, the drone.
Yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like when his head comes off or whatever, it's not no blood. It's like this white,
nut looking shit. I don't know. It just fucking makes my fucking stomach turn over. I don't know why, though.
Mm-hmm. He's a robot.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it shouldn't bother me, but it does. Maniac has a great death scene.
Yeah, Maniac has great death scene. Madman Moss.
Madman Moss.
Great death scene. Pick any slasher film, man. Pieces has some fucking wonderful death scenes.
The Burning.
The Burning has some great ones. My Bloody Valentine. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, even the remake does a good job with
yeah,
that shit.
I love the remake too, especially,
that pick in the eyeball.
Well, the one that immediately comes to my mind is when the chick is all naked and has the steel frame bed. Anyway, if you've seen it, you know what you're saying. If you've not, go see it. I would say, you can even go back to fucking Jack in The Shining where he's just frozen and he fucking has that look on his face, It's not necessarily gory, but you see it
with you.
Yeah, you see it and you just go, what the fuck? And everybody in popular, culture has in one way, shape, or form parried that, even South Park. So,
hey, Randy, you want some chicken nuggets?
You want some McDonald's? Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of great death scenes, and we could stay here all day and talk about them. But
but those are our top death scenes from franchises.
This isn't just a one-off episode. I mean, those are just 10 movie franchises that we picked. I mean, we can come up with 10 more and kind of maybe do like a little series about this and just come up with 10 more movies. So, instead of kind of giving them away right now, we might just, a few weeks from now, give you a whole nother list of it.
Well, maybe we should do a top 10 of naked people.
Naked people in horror movies?
Yeah.
Or
that would be entertaining.
The top 10,
right?
Top 10 best breast.
The best breast.
Yeah.
In horror. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's fucking Jerry Springer shit. And he's dead.
Well, nudity and gore go together.
Yeah, but, I mean, it grinds my gears sometimes.
Why?
I don't know. It's like...
Do you not like titties?
No. It's like some people are like, yeah, but there was no tits in the movie.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
people that are disappointed that there's no nudity.
Right. No.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. I mean, if it is tits in the movie, hell yeah. If it's not, and it's still a great movie, I mean, who cares? I'm not looking for it, but if it is, I mean, yay.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't. But if you like say, oh, I don't want to watch it because it didn't have any tits in it. Fuck off, man. That's stupid. That's the same.
Go Google it.
That's the same way as people to say, oh, I don't like cutaway scenes or whatever. Like,
Right.
Shut the fuck up. There's a lot of movies that are very effective to use your imagination. So,
Exactly.
But, like I said, we might do top 10 titty list. Or we might do top 10,
I know how to make it interesting. We should do the top 10 naked death scenes.
Yeah, that would make you hard to think about, who died naked.
Exactly. I pretty much know what my number one is, just right off the jump, because it always makes me giggle like a little schoolgirl. But thank you for listening to a horrible podcast. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo and watch your fucking ass.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.